Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Aokana. So let me talk about my day real quick before we talk about the last episode recap. Really enjoyed the last episode, by the way. I feel like I do enjoy this game purely for the sports more than the romance thing. But maybe that's actually not as weird as I thought, since when I was talking to my friend on Discord, he also feels like the FC part of the game is actually the main appeal compared to the romance. But yeah, let me talk about my day. I just came back from the gym. I haven't eaten anything. So yesterday I talked about how, I haven't really been doing much of anything after I'm done with recording the video session and whatnot. Because of that, I've actually been sleeping a lot more, a lot earlier, right? And I think that's why lately the gym sessions have been pretty amazing. Can't really doubt the fact that, when you're resting a lot more, you're gonna be upping your energy a lot more too. Well, this only applies to people that are like me who usually tries to overtrain and whatnot. Or, I guess, maximize the amount of training time that I do. I did want to try to get into more DDR/Stepmania. That is a rhythm game for people that don't know, that uses like a dance pad. And yeah, it seems I actually do have to cut on my other exercises if I want to get into that game a lot more. Which is quite a shame since I do enjoy it. I'll probably still play it when I have some off time or something, on an off day. But I don't think I can actually do a lot more exercises or physical oriented activities for the most part unless I cut down on some of my other things like the gym and cycling. I might get back into Osu though, because I still enjoy rhythm games, believe it or not, but I do suck at them. Okay, let's actually do the last episode recap. So in the last episode, we started chapter 6 and it was very, very nice. I enjoyed the heck out of chapter 6. There was no fluff, no nothing. We jumped straight into the tournament arc and we saw Prez's battle, Mashiro's battle, and also Misaki's battle. I don't know why they skipped out on Asuka's battle, considering she's supposed to be the one that is the most nervous, since during practice, I think she is the one that never won a battle. She even lost against Mashiro. But I guess we'll see. Maybe it's really, or maybe the enemy that she faced was really, really weak. But yeah, I totally enjoyed voice acting the last episode. It was pretty crazy. Prez's battle with Inui was intense in an anime sense, but like I said, I think if that happened in real life, a lot of people would have already left their seat and wouldn't pay particular attention to that matchup, since he was getting destroyed by his opponent at 0-22 or something like that. And then the next one was Mashiro and Satoin-san, which is alright. It just shows like Mashiro was able to do something in FC that only she can do, which is like bluffing, I suppose. And then the third one was Misaki and Rika, which is also pretty nice, like I said. Rika was doing pretty good. And I do think that Misaki is way too cocky on the last episode. But alright, this is exactly right after that. And Asuka's matchup got skipped for some reason, so let us continue. In the end, we finished the first day with 2 losses and 2 wins. Misaki beat Ichinose and Asuka also manages to win her first match.
よくやったぞ。いい試合だった。
Everyone surrounds Asuka and applauds.
まさか勝てるとは思いませんでした。奇跡です。奇跡が起きました。そんなことないって。実力だよ、実力。いえ、奇跡です。何か変な ことが地球規模で起きているのかも。私のせいで地球が危ない。
Don't you think that's a little much, Asuka? I mean, do you seriously believe you have psychic powers?
でもそうとでも考えないと納得が。
実力だ実力。でもじゃないぞクラシナ。
Aoi-san is speaking to her in a rather grave tone.
実力で勝ったんじゃなかったら相手がかわいそうだろ。もしクラシナが逆の立場だったらどう思う？相手が強かったという理由以外で負けたとしたら納得できないと思わないか？
I mean, there are some matchups like that, you know, when it just really depends on luck.
そうかもしれません。
運だってあるだろう。それも含めての実力だ。それなのに実力じゃないなんて言い方は相手に失礼だ。
I still don't believe that luck is part of a skill. It's something for sure. Luck is something, but it's not part of your skill set.
失礼ですか。
そうだ。
How'd it feel to win?
勝ってとても嬉しかったですけど、申し訳ないような気もして。嬉しいけど複雑です。
Good to know. Not sure if it'll happen in the next match or the one after that, but your feelings will grow more clear by the end of the tournament.
はっきりですか？
Definitely. I direct my gaze to the edge of the venue. There can only be one champion. And that means you'll probably get knocked out eventually. By the end of this tournament, you'll know how it feels to win and lose. So yeah, it's fine to feel that way for now.
大丈夫なんですか？
Yeah, may as well bask in the feeling of winning while you still can.
わかりました。
マサヤが分かったような分かんないようなこと言ってアスカを言いくるめた。
言いくるめられましたか私？
I feel like this girl is way too considerate of her opponents. Usually you wouldn't really be feeling sad when you're winning. Like, at all. I didn't! I was just trying to tell you to embrace your feelings in a moment.
素直ですか？
That's right. I forgot what Tsunao means in Japanese, but definitely not what the localization said there.
不気味にニマニマしてるね。
素直にと思ったら自然にそうなっちゃったんです。
Oh, I think Tsunao is like, be honest with yourself. The last match of the day comes to an end as I look up at the sky.
さて今日は終わりだな。
I turn to Madoka and see her looking at the tournament bracket sheet.
兄ちゃんとマシロッチが負けてアスカちゃんとミサキが勝ったわけか。順当といえば順当か。
So Asuka's gonna face Shindo-san on the next round. Who's Misaki gonna face?
私の負けを順当とか言わないでください。当然だけど進藤さんは勝ったね。
I wonder why he changed his playstyle.
スピーダー寄りのオールラウンダーなのに今日の試合はほとんどファイターだったもんね。
進藤さんの試合怖かったです。
Shindo-san engaged in a dogfight with his opponent in the second line and kept scoring over and over without ever advancing. He crushed his competition. And honestly, it almost seemed like he enjoyed it. I mean, I probably would have enjoyed crushing my opponent too. Well, like I said though, it really depends on the skill level. I probably would have like enjoyment in crushing an opponent that's, you know, like not that good. But I also have a feeling that I would probably enjoy it more if I lose against an opponent that's on par with me.
死闘水産の2人も勝ってるね。
Kinda weird considering in games, usually I don't really like when I'm overpowered. Yeah, kinda weird considering, yeah, in games I actually do not like it when I'm overpowered and like one-shotting bosses and whatnot. Why do I enjoy when I'm crushing my opponent? Well, I guess in games it's a bit different, right? In games, the opponent doesn't really feel... what's the word I'm looking for? Sometimes the opponent is not like overconfident or cocky. Or maybe not, I don't know. This is actually worth contemplating for me. But moving on, I'll probably try to think about this on my off time.
あの人たちは私と当たらないよね。ガネコさんとコゼさんは逆ブロックだし、そもそも明日の岬の初戦は進藤さんだから余計な心配しなくていいよ。私が負けるのを前提にするな。進藤さんに勝って決勝戦で当たるかもしれないんだからさ。
Wait, wasn't it supposed to be Asuka that was facing Shindo-san?
そうですそうです。美咲先輩の前では進藤さんなんか存在意義を完全に喪失した存在でしかないんですから。
Okay, maybe I misremembered. Calm down, Mashiro. You're talking like Misaki's some kind of FC god.
大まかな意味ではそれで間違っていないかと。
Damn.
私神様だったんだ。だとしたら神社とかに祀られたりするのかな。
店の裏に神社を作りましょう。そこで暮らしてもらっても構いません。
段ボールとかで作られそうだな。
いえいえ、大理石とかを使って1000年は残る立派なのを作ります。
それは普通に困るな。割と困るな。
私 FC が上手になるようにお祈りに行きますよ。
Wow. A win over Shindo-san tomorrow will mark the birth of Misakism, huh? Cool. Let's do our best to make it happen.
そんなのでモチベーションを保つのは無理だ。
Misaki lets out a somewhat forced laugh.
マサヤに言われなくても頑張るけどね。
Great. Asuka, make sure you do all you can to pull out some wins tomorrow.
明日も勝てるように頑張ります。
Well, let's call it a day. Make sure you head straight home.
明日同じ時間に集合だぞ。遅刻しないように気をつけてな。
What a peaceful day for a tournament arc. The first day was exhausting. I'm on my way home after splitting up with everyone, and I can't help but look back on the day's events. Asuka winning her match is a major plus. I'm starting to see how she can grow thanks to that. It's great that her high potential has finally led to results. Still, the hard part begins now. Asuka won't keep winning at her current level of skill. And that means her real goal is learning something at this tournament that she can use in the next one. Some sort of move or strategy that suits her. I'll just judge what's best as I watch her play. And then there's Misaki. I expected her to win, but her results were still shocking. I didn't know she was that much better than Ichinose. Their match honestly looked a little one-sided. If only her personality was better. I feel kind of bad for Ichinose, since I know she puts in a ton of work. Honestly, she's the one I'm most worried about. Are we gonna have some more private sessions with Rika right now? Please. We didn't really interact with her much in the last chapter. Well, it's Takafuji we're talking about, so I'm sure they did a great job of supporting her. Besides, she seemed fine after the match. Guess I should at least talk to her when I... Next thing I know, I'm in front of my house. And... before I know it, someone's right beside me. It's Ichinose. She bows her head as soon as she notices me. Hi. I raised my hand to greet her. Well, this is awkward. I guess it's no surprise since we're neighbors and we were just at the same place. I try to just have a quick chat and leave it at that, but... apparently, both of us want to talk about today's matches. That's why we're currently discussing things through our windows.
そうですか。アスカさんは
無事に1回戦を突破したんですね。
Yeah, she was really happy about it, though she seemed to almost not believe it too.
戸惑う？
I explained Asuka's situation to her. How we had to convince her she won thanks to her own skill, and how she doesn't seem to fully buy into that idea yet either.
アスカさんは発展途上にあるんですね。
Right. She's got a lot to learn in terms of mindset and mental fortitude.
すごいなあ。私なんかとは違うな。
Ichinose mutters that in a dejected tone. I know it's strange for me to say this, but...
はい。
You did good today. That match could have gone either way.
ありがとうございます。
Ichinose giggles as she begins to respond.
私の試合を見て、ひなたさんはどう思いましたか？
It's a tough question. I think it over for a minute before deciding to just give her my honest opinion. You were pretty straightforward, for better or worse.
素直ですか？
Yeah, and honestly, I can see that being a weakness. Like Misaki said earlier, that makes her an open book. But you also launch a surprise attack during that match. Plays like that aren't too bad.
ドッグファイトを仕掛けた時ですね。
Right. Unfortunately, dogfights are Misaki's specialty, so you just ended up putting yourself at a disadvantage.
そうですね。
Is there a reason why you did that?
ええ。
Ichinose responds with a wry smile on her face.
途中1対3になった時点で気づいたんです。総合力で飛沢さんには勝てないと。
Thought as much. Ichinose's movement slowed down around that time. I thought she might have given up, which was why her counterattack surprised me.
で、佐藤院先輩に相談したんです。そしたら先輩から言われました。
Oh?
これからのあなたを考えるためにちょっと試してみましょうって。
Really? It's a style that involves confusing your opponent, something she's completely unaccustomed to, basically. Satoin-san herself has no experience with it either, yet she made Ichinose try it. She may have lost in the end, but the experience she gained made it worthwhile. That was good coaching on Satoin-san's part.
ドッグファイトもやってみましたが、それより何よりまだまだ経験が足りないみたいです。だからもっと練習します。戦い方も考え方も未熟だということが分かりましたから。
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of weird to think that, Rika might have gotten a breakdown after the fact that she lost. I feel like she's not really that weak. Make sure you aren't just going through the motions of practice. Well, this is just my personal opinion, but her weakness doesn't just apply to real matches. Based on what I've seen, she can be too straightforward and rigid during practice as well. And just practicing like always won't really help her improve on that front.
素直すぎるというのはそういうことも含めてなんですね。
I guess she's just the type that, just do whatever she practiced to the dot. Yeah, pretty sure Satoin-san wanted to tell you the exact same thing.
先輩がですか。
Satoin-san's style is as conventional as it gets. So maybe that's why she sees herself in Ichinose. They're very similar when it comes to FC. I'm not telling you to play dirty, but you should at least try to have a few surprises in store. Ichinose falls silent as she thinks over my words. I know it hurts when someone belittles your style of play. No one ever wants to deviate from the path that they've dedicated themselves to. So hard to say. But Ichinose will have a hard time improving at this rate. I really hope she finds something that makes her want to change. Ichinose starts talking again soon enough. Yeah? Seems like this is hard for her to say, since she's gulping down her breath and all.
ひなたさんにちょっとお願いがあるんです。
Oh, what? I wonder what it is. Judging by... No, I really have no clue. What does she want?
そのクナハマの練習になんですけど、
Is she gonna join us?
時間のある時に私も参加させていただけないでしょうか。
Well, this is what she wanted to do on the last chapter, I think, but never actually voiced it out. Huh? Can't say I ever expected that. Can I ask why?
私、試合が終わった後、佐藤院先輩から言われたんです。一ノ瀬さんはもっといろんなものを見た方がいいって。そうじゃないとすぐに限界に行き着くって。だからちょっとでもいいから日常の出来事に変化をつけてみようかなって。
Wow. Man, she's one amazing woman. Satoin-san's an incredible upperclassman and coach. She already told Ichinose everything I wanted to say.
だからせっかく親しくなったことですし、もっとクナハマの人たちとも話したり練習したりしたいって思ったんですけど、ダメでしょうか。
She claps her hands and gazes at me with puppy dog eyes. Is there any man in the world who can defend against this? Yes? Of course you can.
本当ですか？
Ichinose's face lights up right away. I mean, I guess as a teenager, you're probably more prone to, you know, accepting these sort of... Not really advances. I don't think she even thinks this is an advance, but, you know, this sort of situation. Mostly I think because when you're a teenager, your pheromones or hormones, I guess, are all over the place. So you're probably into romance a lot more than you are when you're like younger or older. Me personally, I don't really care too much whether the request is from a cute girl or a not so cute girl when they want to ask me for help or something, right? If I don't want to do it, I'm just gonna say no. Unless I have an ulterior motive, of course. Like, if it's an actual cute girl that I want to date or something, right? Then of course I take the cute girl over the not so cute girl. But if there's no ulterior motive, I probably wouldn't care whether the girl is cute or not. She thanks me as she bows her head over and over again. Calm down. It's no big deal, really.
でも無茶なお願いなのに。
Not really. Honestly, you'll probably be a huge help. Practicing with someone from an FC powerhouse like Takafuji should work wonders. After all, Ichinose is not the only one who can grow from trying new things and facing new opponents. Well, let's pick this up after the tournament.
はい。その時は部長と一緒に伺います。
Your president.
どうかしましたか？
Wait, is Shindo-san also coming? Yup. Oh no, it's nothing. I just pictured Shindo-san showing up with that creepy smile on his face. Man, I sure hope he isn't gonna ask for anything weird in exchange. Alright, we've gotta get up early again, so I'd say it's time to head to hay.
はい。ありがとうございました。ではまた明日会場で。
Right. That was a nice conversation. And that brings an end to the first day of our club's very first tournament. I always like Rika's scenes because they always feel natural to me. Unlike some of the scenes like, say, with Mashiro, Misaki's is also pretty natural. I feel like Asuka and Mashiro are not that natural. That's just me though. And now, the second day begins. Everyone's gathered under the blazing midsummer sun once more. Everyone is tense and quietly whispering. This is something you tend to see on tournament days. You can hear the organizers getting everything set up and the players themselves preparing for their matches, which results in the atmosphere being a mixture of drowsiness and anticipation. I'm making my way past all the tents and stalls as a rather awkward mic test blares around me. And eventually... Someone calls out to me from behind. And when I turn around, I find Shirase-san's little sister, Minamo-chan, fidgeting around like a tiny squirrel. I'm trying to see her chest. Not as sexual harassment, okay? Because on the last episode, there was this masked guy that lost unspectacularly. I don't know, it doesn't seem to be her. But then again, she never has a different pose, right? So can't really see her chest that much. Morning, Minamo-chan. You here to lend your brother a hand?
はいそれもあってはい
Oh? Okay. It's a little weird that she's hesitating so much. But I guess she's always like this. Actually, I was just on my way to see her brother. Why don't we walk to his stall together?
はいご一緒します
Oops, sorry. Minamo-chan just stands there and doesn't move. Oh, sorry. I was waiting for you.
ごめんなさい
Don't be. I'm also not very good with timid people like this. The situation turns tense as we both wait for the right moment to start walking. I'm good with children that are timid, I guess, since they're pretty easy to please for the most part. Just play around with them and they'll open up pretty quickly. But when it's like a teenager like this, I'm not very good with them. I need to say something to clear the air or we'll be stuck here all day. Oh, I know. His stall is over this way, yeah? Minamo-chan hurries over to me with light steps. Okay, then let's go. Did something good happen to her this morning? She seems a lot happier than usual. Come to think of it, I never bothered to ask you, did I? Do you play FC?
はいやってま
Minamo-chan pauses and suddenly casts her eyes down to the ground.
ません
So you don't?
はい
What a waste. You're in the perfect area for FC, and your brother would be a great coach. Sorry, do you maybe not like FC? Minamo-chan shakes her head left and right, which makes her hair bounce.
違います好きです
I see. Why don't you play then? I immediately regret asking her that question. I mean, I'd hate if someone asked me that too. My bad. Forget I ever asked.
いえ恥ずかしいだけです
Don't force yourself to tell me if it's too embarrassing.
答えるのが恥ずかしいのではなくて飛んでるとこ誰かに見られるのが恥ずかしくて
Well, I guess with the suit that you have to wear, it's kind of understandable. It does show a lot of your body. Oh, okay. She finds the thought of other people seeing her fly embarrassing, huh? That reminds me, I think I've seen you over the sea before. Your form was great, and your skills look pretty polished too. Guess that makes sense since you're Shirase-san's sister and all. What's wrong?
覗き見をするなんてまさやさんエッチです
Is she literally saying that the fact that, you know, it's embarrassing for people to see her flying as in her technique? I guess? I really don't understand this mentality. I wasn't peeping. Honestly, I just saw you by chance. There was nothing perverted about it. Minamo-chan giggles at that.
エッチですよ
Is she teasing me? Look, you're wrong, okay? Minamo-chan nods while giggling. I bet you'd go pretty far with enough practice.
やっぱり難しいから。
I see. Yeah, that is a real problem. I mean, it'd be hard for her to push herself when her anxiety is getting the best of her. Yeah, I think this girl must be the frickin' masked Skywalker guy. Still bugs me though the fact that its sprite is like a guy without any sort of chest.
知らない人の前だと緊張するから。
おっさひなた
Minamo-chan jerks up in terror as she's startled by the voice that's calling out to me.
おお白瀬さんの妹さんもいたのか
おはようございます。
Huh. You know Minamo-chan?
筋肉の相談をしに白瀬さんの店には何度も行ってるしな
I can see that. It did seem like they clicked during that safety course.
それでは私は向こうに用事があるので。
Huh? Aren't you gonna go see your brother?
家で会ってますから。
Right. Well, see you around. Minamo-chan scampers off like a squirrel after bowing her head to me. And I simply gaze at her receding figure for a while before Press talks to me. If my guess is right and she does like Messiah, I wonder what causes it. I always hate it when a visual novel has like girls just falling for you without any sort of reason whatsoever. I feel like it's just like, you know, a harem fantasy that's just unbelievable.
あれか平田は妹キラーか
What? No, obviously not.
うちの妹ならたまにキラーしてくれても構わんぞ
Yeah, no thanks. Anyway, it's good to see you here. I thought maybe he wouldn't show up after his loss yesterday, so I'm glad he seems to be in high spirits. As I look at him, I notice Press puff out his chest boldly.
1回戦で負けたとはいえ部長として部員連中の試合を最後まで見届ける義務があるだろ
Right.
やあおはようマサヤ
Shirase-san pokes his head out from behind Prez's shoulder. Huh? You two are together? I know Prez mentioned frequenting his store, but I'm surprised they're actually hanging out.
俺と白瀬さんは仲良しだからな筋肉で結ばれた二人なのさ
Gross.
今日は僕の方から彼にちょっとした用事があってね
About? Shirase-san brings his lips to my ears. Guess this must be a secret.
ここだけの話なんだけど来年スーパーフライが計画されていてね
Super fly? You mean that long distance race?
そうそれ
It's a sport that's popular in the west coast of America and the Philippines. Contestants have to keep flying for 100 miles or 160 kilometers if you're into the metric system. They definitely put in the 100 miles there for sure. Japanese people use metric, unlike people in the US, so there's no way they would even know about how many miles that is.
日本じゃまだ開催されたことはないんだけど白瀬さんが言うには九州一周のレースの開催予定があるらしいなそれに参加しないかって誘われてたとこだ
I'd say that's right up your alley. Long distance races have no real need for short, agile movements. All that matters is the ability to maintain your form over a long period of time. His graph shoes are honestly a little freaky, so the way I see it, he'll do way better in a Superfly than a normal Skywalker. I mean, he's literally the only person I can think of who has Balmungs with a heavy speed or tuning. But with a race that long, the question becomes whether or not his stamina will last. Brawny people like him tend to build up lactic acid fast, which leads to fatigue. It'd be like making a sprinter run a marathon.
そこら辺はこれから肉体改造していくってことで
Okay, that's true.
まあ参加してみるのはいいんだし
What? Okay. Kinda weird. Prez looks up at the blue sky with squinted eyes. Makes sense. Regret doesn't suit Prez. Say what? Okay.
昨日の自分に一切の後悔はない。だけど FC に対する後悔は
Prez grins as he says that.
あれは FC じゃなかったから
Huh?
だね。我慢比べというか、意地の張り合いみたいな試合だったね。
Okay. True. He probably could have won that match if he just played things differently. Could he though? Could he?
だからな。
Yeah.
この学院での FC は終わったけど、FC は続けたいんだ。もしスーパーフライに参加するとしても、肉体改造はしない。
Okay. I'm sorry. If only I had done a better job as your second.
日向が謝る必要ないぞ。俺がちゃんと日向と向き合えなかっただけだ。だけど今はそういうのができそうな気がする。
He flashes me a slightly dejected smile as she says that? God damn it, he says that. Wow, super bad typo there.
そう思えるのが遅かったな。とにかくちゃんと FC と向き合ってみたんだ。教えてくれてありがとうな。
Weren't you taking it seriously for the past 3 years? I'm happy to hear that. I think I still share some of the blame, since I failed to coach you properly. But I really appreciate what you just said.
青春だね。いいね。見てるだけで若返りそうだ。
Nah, I feel like Shion is just making me confused.
俺はここでみんなの応援をしてるから、何かあったら来てくれ。
Well, I guess I understand. He's probably doing his best at stuff that he's doing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that he's becoming a better Skywalker, right? He lacks other certain skills other than just speeding up. You're not gonna join us?
最後の試合で負けた俺が言ったら、みんな気を使うだろう。そういうとこでテンションを下げてしまいたくないんだ。
Well, if you're sure. He's trying to be considerate here, so I shouldn't fight him. Okay, I'll see you later.
頑張れよ。日向。
Thanks. I walk away after saying that. The second round has officially begun. It's finally time for Misaki to face Shindo-san. Honestly, I think this is the most important match our club will have all tournament. I really want her to hold her own, but she'll need a good strategy to do that. In his match yesterday, Shindo-san completely overpowered a fighter in a dogfight, even though he's an all-rounder.
まさかファイター相手に V を全く狙わず次のラインに進ませない鳥かご状態にしちゃうとはね。
So I guess I understand why Shindo-san is doing that. He's fighting the opponent in his, or you know, in the opponent's like advantage, right? So it's kind of a mean thing to do, but he definitely wants to fight his opponent at his best game, is what I'm trying to say. I understand that mentality though. I would also want to fight my opponent at his best too. It ended in an 11-0 victory for Shindo-san. There was a clear difference in skill level for sure, but that's still a ridiculous gap.
私、ああいう試合あまり好きじゃないな。
Yeah, it seemed pretty brutal. And after watching that match,
遠い目をするな。ちゃんと作戦を考えてきたんでしょうね。
I'll try. Man, It seems like his dogfighting's improved a ton since the training camp.
だね。合宿の時はスピードで翻弄されちゃったし、ドッグファイトじゃ私の方が優勢だったんだけど。
Unfortunately, it seems like he's just as good as her now. Only way I can see Misaki beating him is if we come up with a plan he's never even imagined. I'm guessing you can't just play as a speeder to surprise him, right?
絶対無理。
Then we'll have to bet on the one thing you're good at, dogfights.
そこにしか勝機はないか。
Yeah, seems like that's all you can do to win any match. She's a pure fighter, so you've got no other choice. Honestly, I bet Shindo-san wants to face you in a dogfight. Yesterday's match was probably his way of challenging Misaki.
あんな形で宣戦布告してくるなんて。進藤さん、人の良さそうな顔して結構熱いとこあるね。
Of course, all the best players do. In Japanese, she said that he's pretty passionate instead of having guts. Otherwise, none of them would have made it through the harsh practice it takes to get good.
私、闘志をむき出しにされるの苦手だな。
She doesn't like opponents that aren't scary or ones that are overly serious. What's left then? I swear, this girl's real hard to please. Who cares? Only thing you can do at this point is go out there and win.
はいはい、分かってますよ、コーチ。一応合宿の時のリベンジはしておきたいしさ。で、どう戦えばいいかな。弱点とか発見できなかった？
I kinda understand Misaki's point of view though. The reason why she probably doesn't want to face someone that's overly serious is probably because she maybe scared is not the right word, but you know, she is most definitely gonna get stomped, right, in this fight. That's for sure. It's not that she's scared, but she just doesn't want to feel failure, I think, right? So for someone like Misaki, who's usually, you know, not having to work her ass off to get something that she wants, this is a feeling that's very alien for her. And I guess the reason why she doesn't want to squash Rika is also because she doesn't want to squash people who are, you know, hardworking. But yeah, it's a very arrogant way of looking at things. I don't know, I personally think it's not a very good mentality to have. I noticed that his aileron roll is a huge weakness.
キリモミね。
God damn it, someone is making something downstairs. It smells so good even upstairs here in my room. Oh god, I'm getting hungry. It's a maneuver where you dodge an opponent that's coming in from the side by spinning sideways. He was backed into a corner at one point yesterday and used that to dodge, but
けど
it was slow. His opponent couldn't deal with it, but I know you're more than fast enough. If you can get him in the same position, you can use that chance to score tons of points. What? Something wrong?
それって進藤さんを私から逃げるという状況に追い込まないといけないわけだよね。
You don't have to outdo him or anything. Just keep engaging him in a dogfight and you'll eventually get a chance to counterattack. Players tend to be vulnerable right after launching an attack. The reason is simple. You have to lower your guard to actually focus on offense. If there's a massive difference in skill, then that chance is worthless. But that's not the case here. And because of that, there's no way Shindo-san can keep on attacking forever. Especially not when he has limited stamina and has to be ready to defend at a moment's notice. Even if he does start to overwhelm Misaki, all she has to do is wait for an opening to strike. If Shindo-san tries an aileron roll, go all in.
つまりどういうこと？切りもみ中の進藤さんの背中を全力で追ってタッチ。
The aileron roll is a move where you spin around the body's central axis. So it'll be hard to slow him down even if you touch him, but
その分切りもみから別の飛行に変えるのに間ができるということを言いたい？
Bingo. If you time it right, you can trap him in an aileron roll, which will give you the chance to keep scoring.
そううまくはいかないよね。
Probably not. Still, I think that's the only shot you've got at winning this match. What I dislike about Messiah, though, is that what if that's actually a trap, you know? What if he's actually thinking 2 steps, 3 steps ahead and is showing you the weakness on purpose? I feel like Messiah's way of thinking is just like Rika is too straightforward. I feel like he's not very perceptive at times. Well, he's perceptive at, you know, at noticing details, I guess, but not at using the info that's given to him. Misaki sighs in exasperation.
最初は失点覚悟でバチバチやるってことね。
Exactly. You're only good at scoring in dogfights, so this plan suits you best.
気合いだ気合いだ気合いだ。
That's a spirit. Listen, don't ever lose focus. Misaki can be pretty absent-minded at times. No, wait. Maybe it's more accurate to say she's quick to give up.
分かってますよ。と、そろそろ試合開始だね。じゃあ、行ってきます。飛ぶにゃん。
You have a real shot at winning this if you concentrate.
本気で言ってる？
Well, kinda.
割と。
Misaki shoots me a cute smile as she says that.
ありがとう。頑張ってくる。
よろしくね、飛沢さん。
どうもどうもよろしくお願いします。手を抜いてくれると助かるんですけどね。
そういうわけにはいかないな。この大会に出るのは今年で最後だから悔いのないように全力で飛ばせてもらう。
私も頑張りますからバチバチ来てくださいね。バッチンバチンで楽しくやりましょうよ。
そういう展開になればね。
無駄な話はしないように。試合開始するよ。
はいは
じゃあよろしくね。
ーい。よろしくお願いします。
セット。
I hear the sound of the whistle after a short pause. Shindo-san flies right towards second with the help of a low yo-yo. Misaki, on the other hand, jumps to the second line immediately. Remain calm and stop Shindo-san.
分かってる。
Shindo-san touches second to score the first point, then speeds up as he rushes down the line toward Misaki. Suddenly, Misaki jerks upward. And Shindo-san uses that chance to pass below her at terrifying speeds. Huh?
あれ？
Why'd she just let that happen? What the hell are you doing? That was your chance to stop him. Misaki's a fighter, so there's no way she's fast enough to chase him now. You would have stopped him if you didn't move. Misaki jumps to the third line and she starts talking to me.
上に行くってフェイントに引っかかっちゃったよ。
A feint?
うん。肩をクイクイって動かしてたから急上昇するのかと思って先回りしようとしたら抜かれちゃった。
How? That's impossible. He didn't slow down at all when he supposedly used that feint. Don't let him fool you again.
分かってる。
Shindo-san touches third right as Misaki positions herself on the third line. The score is now 0-2.
次は止めるよ。え、ちょっと、
Shindo-san... God damn it, I bit my tongue. Shindo-san throws in a slightly curved, horizontal zigzag while maintaining his speed. Then uses a few easy-to-read feints that consist of him twisting his head in the opposite direction of his motion. And after that, he begins his final motion. A sharp, downward dive. Having fallen for all his feints, Misaki has completely lost her balance, and Shindo-san effortlessly passes her about 4 meters to her side. Misaki is too slow to catch him now, which means the score is effectively already 0-3. Why is this happening? Why is she falling for such simple feints? Oh! Damn it! This is all my fault! How did I not notice that his entire last match was a feint? Misaki! Shindo-san's not gonna go for a dogfight! What did I say? 2-3 steps ahead, man. He's pulling out all the stops here. The dogfight in his last match was a trap he set for us. It's not that smart, damn it. He sure did. And you're falling for his simple feints because you're expecting him to go for a dogfight. We kept assuming he was positioning himself to gain an advantage in a dogfight, but those were all just feints. He even gave us a hint at the start of the match, saying that if it comes to that, come on guys. Damn it! If only I figured that out right away. His speed didn't drop because he was only shifting his shoulders slightly. Misaki's a player who can quickly react to her opponent's actions, which is why she's really good at dogfights. She's a master of reading a person and acting accordingly. However, Shindo-san is using that against her. He's abusing her excellent reaction times by shifting around slightly and making her overreact. Stay calm. You've still got time until it reaches the 4th line. Take a few deep breaths. Ignore all his feints. Don't react to them. Shindo-san hasn't been doing anything special. He's just advancing forward as fast as he can. And I bet that won't change. You sure? After seeing this girl, you know, slow down and take her time, I think he probably already has a counter strategy. Or the fact that, you know, we found out that he's going to be speeding up, that means he's going to change his strategy. It worked twice already, so why give up now? No one in their right mind would give up on a successful strategy this soon. Messiah! Oh my god, this guy is actually... Are you... You're not the sharpest tool in the shed, are you? God. You're being played, man. And Shindo-san is definitely a logical thinker. Wait! I'm a total moron! You are! I knew all along that Shindo-san was someone ruled by logical thought. So why didn't I notice? There's no way an all-rounder would take on a fighter of Misaki's caliber in a dogfight. From now on, think of him as a speeder. He may be fast, but Prez is even faster. Just don't bite on his feints and you'll stop him in his tracks. Shindo-san touches 4th while Misaki's on her way to the 4th line. 0-3. Great. She ends up falling for his feints yet again. Guess the confusion from Shindo-san breaking past her twice is still affecting her. Well, that's hardly a surprise, since Misaki lacks mental fortitude. She somehow manages to strain her posture and extend her hand towards Shindo-san. Ah! So close! She almost touched his shoe there, which is something at least. Don't go after him, Misaki. You can't catch up. Hurry up and jump to the 1st line. Misaki jumps to the 1st line as Shindo-san touches first. And that makes it 0-4. I didn't think this would be so one-sided. What a rough start. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is against the rules, but close your eyes once you're in position on the 1st line. You're reacting because you see him twitch, right? Then all you have to do is not look and move exactly as I tell you. Don't open your eyes until I say so. This is against the rules? Really? Why would it be? this sport, though, I feel like it puts way too much emphasis on your second. I feel like your second is way too important in this sort of sport. In like cycling, you do get some like coaching during like the race, but for the most part, I think it all depends on, you know, like the athlete's intuition at the end of the day. Like their decision making is, of course, depends entirely on the athlete. At what point what they should be doing. In this one, I feel like a lot of our matches rely way too much on the second. It kind of feels off to me. Even in boxing, it shouldn't be like this, right? I don't know, though. Just trust me. Oh, sorry. I fixed my eyes on Shindo-san. Shindo-san has noticed that Misaki isn't reacting to his feints. Now! Open your eyes and fly toward your 9 at full speed.
Okay.
Misaki pounds into Shindo-san from below right as he transitions from a climb to a descent during his zigzag. Misaki-san touches Shindo-san's chest, which results in him being repelled upward. Nice job, Misaki! She managed to make him go flying off in the opposite direction. Must have cut his speed a great deal. Plus, Misaki's recovery speed is faster because she's a fighter. A fighter's spirit tends to crumble when they can't touch their opponent. But that also means actually touching them lights a fire under them. The idea that you can turn the tide and take control of a match is rather encouraging. Misaki touches Shindo-san's chest again right as he begins to regain his balance. And by doing that, she pushes him upward and slows him further. Misaki, this is your chance! Pass him and go for his back! Misaki uses the fast initial speed of a fighter to twist her body like a snake and slip behind Shindo-san. She successfully touches Shindo-san's back despite his attempt to evade. And as a result, is repelled back toward the last boy he touched. That's 1-4. Nice! Take this chance and keep scoring! Grav shoes are an anti-gravity device, but that doesn't mean you're completely free from the influence of gravity. It still pulls on you, but the shoes provide an opposing force to mostly counteract it. Yeah, I think there's supposed to be a there. That's why you gain more speed when you're going down than when you're going up. And right now, Misaki is directly above Shindo-san. She can reach him in an instant. Shindo-san levels out with his back to the water's surface, then spread his arms and legs out to balance himself. That is a way to regain balance, but it also kills your speed. Shindo-san wants to do a reversal. A reversal is a maneuver where you slip right by an opponent that's coming in from above to steal the upper position. Shindo-san's neck and shoulders shift to the right from Misaki's perspective, which makes it apparent that he wants to pass by that side of her. Misaki tilts her body to the right to get in his way, but... crap! Next thing I know, Shindo-san does a contortion roll, moving both his legs to her right side in the process. Shindo-san's face, which was just on Misaki's right, suddenly moves to her left, and then he uses his legs as an anchor to strain his body once more. Misaki had been approaching him at high speeds, so it must have looked like he suddenly disappeared. Shindo-san slips past Misaki's left side right away, looms above her, and... he touches Misaki's back. That brings the score to 1-5. Damn it! Misaki's lack of self-control is killing her! An opponent who's attempting a reversal can't move very fast, so she should have approached him slowly. if she did, she wouldn't have fallen for his feint just now. But because she didn't think before she acted... Okay, I need to relax. No point crying over spilled milk. We've wanted a dogfight all along, so this works just fine. Shindo-san is off balance right now. Go get him! He touched Misaki's back while he was doing the reversal, which drew him away from her. And as a fighter, Misaki's recovery time is a lot quicker. Misaki charges towards Shindo-san as he floats above her. Nice! She's coming in from the side as she aims for his back. This is exactly what we wanted. Go, Misaki! Now's your chance! Shindo-san tries to escape using an aileron roll, and having anticipated that, Misaki reacts accordingly. We can do this! We've got him on the ropes! Didn't you realize that the last match, he might be using that aileron roll to lure you into this trap too? God damn it, Messiah. We can beat Shindo-san! Wait, what? There's something off about Shindo-san's movements. Feels almost like he's letting Misaki... Shit! No! Don't touch him! I didn't catch on fast enough. So he's gonna go for the boy now? That's 2-5. But he's gonna keep sprinting, right? Shindo-san completely ignores Misaki and uses the repellent force from her touch to enter a perfect flight form. That's right. She pushed him right toward the next boy. He used her to get a speed boost. And since Misaki's been thrown in the opposite direction, she has no chance of catching up. Okay, maybe the aileron roll was actually his weakness, but he's actually trying to, you know, try to make that to his advantage. So he actually did that in a good moment so that he can actually get the boost by making Misaki touch him at that point. Damn it! I'm such an idiot! I suppressed the urge to toss my headset. How did I make such a rookie mistake? Shindo-san even told us he didn't want a dogfight, but I still let him trick me. The thought that he was trying to use her never even crossed my mind. Misaki, jump to the second line now. Don't lose focus. It's not over until it's over. She sounds dead inside. In the end, Shindo-san scores 2 additional points through boy touches and the match ends with a score of 2-7. I thought she'd be depressed about her loss, but oddly enough, she looks happier. Did he go and thank Shindo-san and Satoin-san for the match? Wait, what? How? Didn't expect her to say that. A light smile forms on Misaki's face as she begins to speak. How exactly? I mean, I can't deny that the first 3 points was solely based on Messiah's incompetence on this one. Yep, I agree with that way of thinking. True. Yup. Right. Those mistakes could have been avoided. I'm also partially to blame too. Yeah, he is. Why? Yeah, I mean, considering she is on par with Shindo-san after, you know, like just a couple of months, it is pretty baffling, to say the least. You do realize that means taking practice a lot more seriously, right? Misaki turns to look right at me with a dead serious expression on her face. She smiles bashfully after saying that. A little while after my talk with Misaki, another Kunohama player brings up something even more surprising.
すごいです。
Asuka bops her head up and down, looking beyond excited.
まさか2回も勝てるとは思ってませんでした。
And they skipped your match yet again, Asuka. I don't know why they did this. Doesn't this mean that Asuka's gonna go face against Shindo-san in the third round? That's right. Asuka actually managed to win her match. She got pretty lucky with her matchups, but it takes more than that to win 2 in a row. Asuka's a total beginner who lost all her practice matches with our other club members, so this is a pleasant surprise. This isn't unusual. Happens a lot when players start competing for the first time.
ビギナーズラックという意味ですか？
No, I'm talking about people improving during matches. Or, as we call it in shonen manga, plot device. Or sorry, plot armor.
私強くなりましたか？
You have. In the end, getting better is all about how much you can learn and master. Veterans don't have as much left to learn, so they hardly improve through a single matches. Sometimes they even have to sweat blood and tears to learn one new thing. However, that isn't the case for rookies. Most beginners are rather raw, so they can learn a lot in a short period of time. Well, I do agree though with this.
自分ではわかりませんけど。
Well, I'm sure you'll see during your match with Shindo-san. I turn to the side and see Shindo-san talking to his second, Satoin-san. Satoin-san lost to Saki Inui, so her role as second is all she has left for the day. Seeing that match made me realize I was right about Prez having a shot at the title. Back when I first met him, Prez had just lost to Satoin-san, but I can tell he's caught up to her by this point. Man, looking back at his match with Inui really hurts. I'm sure that match would have turned out differently if Prez was more focused on winning. Inui, huh? She's pretty interesting. No, this isn't the time to be thinking about other players. I'm sure you know, since you watch his match against Misaki and all, but Shindo-san is in peak condition.
きっとすごいんでしょうね。間近でどんなプレーが見れるのかドキドキします。
Wow, that's a pretty unique reaction. Anyway, about our strategy.
進藤さんが相手だったら全力でぶつかるしかないんじゃありませんか？
Of course you don't. Still, your best probably isn't good enough.
それは困ります。
He crushes first round opponent. I'm scared that the same thing might happen to Asuka. That's why we need to put him in a situation where you have the clear advantage.
はい。そのためにはどうすればいいですか？
In Misaki's case, we try to force him into a dogfight, but to be honest, Asuka isn't better than Shindo-san in any way. Only thing I can think of is using her strong intuition. Sometimes Asuka does stuff that she has no business knowing. However, no one can tell when that's going to happen. And that means it's not a good idea to base our strategy around it. Still, that's the only real weapon she has, so it'll have to do. You need to stick close to Shindo-san for as long as possible. Do you understand why? Asuka thinks things over for a while, looking visibly confused.
進藤さんはスピーダー寄りのオールラウンダーだから距離を取ったら V を狙われてしまうということですよね。
Exactly. No matter how the match plays out, Asuka has to stay right by him if she wants to have a chance to win. But if you stick too close to him right from the start, it'll turn into a speed battle.
それだと引き離されてしまいますよね。
Glad you understand. Now, when the match starts, jump to the second line and wait for Shindo-san. Make no mistake though, unlike Misaki, you aren't going to try and stop him.
どうしてでしょうか？
Because I doubt you can.
そうですね。私、美咲ちゃんみたいに素早くないです。進藤さんにピューッと行かれてしまいそうです。
And that's exactly why the plan is for you to fly close to Shindo-san for as long as possible. Something might happen if you do.
何
でしょうか。
Well, you know, something. Asuka nods a few times before she replies.
なんとなく素敵な感じはします。
Glad you like the strategy. I'm sure either Shindo-san or Asuka will pull off something that surprises me. This is a shonen-like type of story after all. Ideally, we want Shindo-san to fall prey to the pressure and self-destruct, but it's better not to count on that. After you jump to the second line, get as close to second as you can and circle around above it.
やや高めで旋回しながら待機ですか。ということは、できるだけスピードを殺さないようにということですね。
Sure is. Shindo-san should fly straight down the line, so make sure to stay slightly ahead of him and off to the side.
少し前ですか。
Because he's faster than you, slightly ahead is just right. If you get too far ahead, you'll make it easier for him to shoot past you, and falling too far behind is a death sentence.
そこが私にとってちょうどいい距離ということですね。それで少し前の横を飛べたらどうしますか。
What you can.
できることって何ですか。
If you see a chance to go for his back, take it. You can also try to block his path or just touch him somewhere.
つまりそこで全力を出すわけですね。
I give her a confident nod in order to set her mind at ease. We just have to keep Shindo-san from taking control of the tempo. Do what you can to disrupt him.
はい。
Oh, by the way, if you keep flying next to him until the end of the line, you'll miss the timing to jump to the next one. So make sure to listen carefully for my instructions.
分かってます。コーチを信じてますから。
The only point of jumping lines is to get ahead of your opponent. If you fail to do it fast enough, you're just letting your opponent keep the lead and score for free. Losing 2 points through regular means is one thing, but I'd like to avoid doing that because of a simple mistake.
上で待って V を狙う進藤さんと並んで飛ぶというのは分かりました。でも真白ちゃんと佐藤院さんの試合みたいに。
Are you asking what to do if Shindo-san tries to engage in a dogfight?
はい。受けた方がいいですか。
Absolutely not. Shindo-san's good enough in dogfights to beat Misaki. You don't stand a chance against them.
そうですけど逃げる自信もありません。
You'll have to try. Running away is your only option at that point.
逃げる。
Yup. Remember, you're trying to stick close to Shindo-san for as long as possible. Running away fits that objective just fine, so there's no shame in it.
全力ですね。
Good. Well, it's about time now. Get going.
はい。全力を出してきます。コーチ。
Asuka flies off, heading straight toward first. If Shindo-san gets even a little flustered by Asuka, then one of her flashes of brilliance comes into play. I quietly exhale to calm my nerves. Maybe, just maybe, something might happen. I won't go as far to say she can win, but maybe I should have told her that. Those magic words that have the power to make you stronger than any opponent. I repeat them inside my mind.
少し前まで初心者だったのによくここまで上がってきたね。
頑張りました。全力で頑張りますのでよろしくお願いします。
全力か。それなら僕も全力で頑張ろうかな。
はい。よろしくお願いします。まさかアスカちゃんがここまで残るなんてね。ほんとびっくりですにゃ。もっとも私は最初からやる娘さんだと思っていたけどね。本当に？本当だって。アスカ先輩がファースト V に向かってますよ。頑張れアスカ先輩。頑張れアスカ。頑張れ。もっと真剣に応援してください。マシロッチ盛り上がってるね。進藤さんはギタギタのメタメタにされると良いのです。落下してオットセイにお尻を噛まれればいいと思いませんか。なんでオットセイ？サメやシャチだとシャレにならないじゃありませんか。で
もオットセイだといい感じに笑えそうです。
でもオットセイはなかなか凶暴らしいよ。お尻を噛みちぎられたりしたら笑えないよ。
じゃあ飛び魚でどうでしょうか。
急にスケールが小さくなったね。酒あたりでどうかな。
さすが美咲先輩。飛び魚だと口が小さすぎて面白みに欠けますもんね。ここはぜひ酒さんに頼みましょう。
そんなこと真顔で言うなんてすごいぞマシロッチ。進藤さん、マシロにそこまで言われるようなことした？合宿の時にお尻を触られたとか？
そんな支援はありません。美咲先輩のことです。
私のこと？
まったくプンプンですよ。美咲先輩に勝つとは。進藤さんは空気を読めない人ですね。
最後の大会の進藤さんに勝っちゃう方が空気を読んでない気がするけどね。
ということは美咲先輩は進藤さんを気遣って？
まあそういうとこもあるかもね。
さすが美咲先輩。
秋の大会あたりでは気兼ねなくサクッと優勝しちゃったり。
頼もしすぎます。不詳有坂も精一杯お手伝いします。
Man, I've been so quiet because I just want this scene to be over with, but it's not over. God, you guys are wasting so much dialogue. I'm waiting for the freaking battle, damn it.
優勝は冗談だけど、進藤さんがいないなら上位には行きたいよね。
試合が始まりましたね。頑張れ、アスカ先輩。
Thank you. God damn those guys.
やっぱりアスカはショートカットか。同じオールラウンダーでも進藤さんの方がずっと早いからね。
Oh, I'm guessing because we're probably not gonna be giving too much instructions to Asuka this match. That's why they're having everyone else voice act what the hell is going on.
まずは普通にスタートということですね。
変な負け方して傷ついたりしなければいいけど。アスカちゃんは変に強いからそういうのは余計な心配だと思うな。だろうけどね。
頑張れ頑張れ、アスカ先輩。頑張れ。
Right before Asuka reaches the second line. Okay, maybe I will still be commentating a lot. Shindo-san touches second. That's 0-1. Man, Shindo-san's ridiculously fast for an all-rounder. If Asuka tried to get any closer to the boy, he might have stepped on the gas and rushed right past her. Well, this is where the real match begins. Asuka and I wait for Shindo-san to make a move with bated breath. Is he gonna go for the third or force a dogfight? Did I say batted? Is it supposed to be baited? I think it's supposed to be baited. Shindo-san glances up at Asuka and... After a second, he rushes straight down the line. Hurry, Asuka! Asuka approaches Shindo-san from diagonally above by using the force of gravity to speed up. Should you really be telling our strategy? Asuka flies along the same path as him when he continues to speed up. Luckily, she started flying when she was ahead of him, so there's still a gap between them. That means he can't overtake her that easily. From here on out, we'll have to rely on Asuka's inborn talent. I can't give her instructions on split-second decisions. Show us what you got, Asuka. Huh? Shindo-san isn't picking up much speed. Or wait, is Asuka just really fast? Huh? I've got no idea what he's thinking. But hey, if they keep flying at this speed, maybe Asuka can touch him. Right as I think that... Asuka tilts her whole body and rapidly closes in on Shindo-san. Good choice. Yeah, a trap. There's no way that Asuka's as fast as Shindo-san. Are you retarded, Messiah? Come on! How much of a wishful thinker are you? Huh? Shindo-san disappeared? Asuka should have touched his back, but he's not even in front of her anymore. How? Shindo-san is currently flying in an upright position. He's raised his body from the usual forward-leaning flight form, essentially hitting the brakes. What is he up to? Sure, he needed to shake Asuka, but slowing down like that put him at a disadvantage. Is he challenging her to a dogfight? Well, too bad. We're not gonna take the bait. Asuka, go for third. Her going for the boy is technically against the rules, since she hasn't crossed his path or touched him yet. But I bet them flying near each other for so long is enough for the referee to let it slide. What? Huh? Are you kidding me? What sort of rules is this? What? You can't just do that? Wow! The fuck? What? We need to take this chance to throw Shindo-san off his game, even if that means breaking some rules. What? Huh? He stomped the brakes mere moments ago, but somehow he still manages to zoom right up to Asuka. I had some respect for this sport, but what the fuck is... Up till that point, I was like, what the fuck? Should I take this seriously or should I not take this seriously? Because that statement just made me lose all respect for this this sport. Shindo-san touches her back as he says that. Yes, Shindo-san, please just destroy Asuka, please. I get trying to win, like with all of the things in our arsenal, but of course we gotta play by the rules. What the fuck? I'm a sportsmanship kind of guy. The fuck? Asuka loses her balance as she plummets diagonally. That's brought the score to 0-2. No way! That was a cobra. You raise your body to an upright position and spread your arms to brake. Then reassume your previous form and accelerate hard. The move is named Cobra because of how similar it looks to a cobra spreading its hood to intimidate predators. Hold on! The Cobra is an advanced move. It's not something you'd expect to see in some amateur inter-school tournament. Messing up your posture and balance just a tiny bit is enough to result in a stall, which is why only pros use it. Trying it during a practice match is one thing, but he's actually busting it out here? Huh? Oh, Shindo-san is... Where is he? How did I lose sight of him? I'm totally failing as a second. Where is he? Where is he? He's right above you. He used the repellent force from touching Asuka to propel himself upward, essentially turning her into a stepping stone. Shindo-san repels Asuka toward the water right as she attempts to turn around. That doesn't score him a point, but... Water violently splashes in all directions as Asuka's graph shoes displace it. Was that a suicida? Is that... Am I pronouncing that correctly? Suicida? I think suicida makes a lot more sense from suicide, right? A suicida is a move where you stop your opponent by repelling them directly down into the water. It's a forceful move that's generally employed by Skywalkers who prefer to focus on power over speed. I can't believe you managed to combine an incredibly technical move like the Cobra with such a violent one. I've never even seen pros do that. Contrary to my expectations, Shindo-san is the one pulling off crazy moves instead of Asuka. I thought I saw the full extent of his abilities during his match with Misaki, but... I was wrong. Shindo-san is in an entirely different league. I glance over to Satoin-san to take in a reaction. She's just quietly looking up at the field. Doesn't seem like she's talking to him at all. Because that means she knew he could pull that off. Could it be that he... Oh man, Misaki is gonna be either pissed or she's gonna be giving up. I guess we'll see. I mean, isn't that like the natural thing to think? Considering Shindo-san has like what, 3 years above you in terms of experience? Isn't it just because it's the final round? The third round... Oh, wait. No, the third round should be the semi-finals. That is interesting. Why did he use it on the third round? I think it's because Shindo-san sees that Asuka might be able to come back from this. You know, he's probably thinking about Asuka's personality. In Misaki's case, I feel like if Misaki is actually thrown to the ground, like with a 0-20 or something crazy, like Prez's, like, you know, a total beatdown kind of scoring, I think he probably knew that Misaki wouldn't come back from it. Maybe he's gambling on the fact that Asuka might be able to get back even though he's going to be destroying Asuka in this match. Maybe though, maybe. Asuka, calm down and recover your balance. There's a considerable distance between them now. Shindo-san is looking down on Asuka as she floats near the water surface. Suicida? What did I even say for this name again? I think it's Suicida. Is Spanish for suicide. The move was given that name because of the way the player crashes into the water. Players who use Suicida usually keep charging their opponents to make them crash. Shindo-san, however, apparently only used it to distance himself from Asuka. He says that, forms a faint smile, and flies off toward third. Since he's on his way toward third while Asuka's near the water, he might even reach fourth before she makes it to the third line. And that would make it 0-4. Calm down. Keep it together, Messiah. I can't sound flustered right now. Asuka, take a deep breath. Are you done? I was actually waiting for the second breath there. Jump to the fourth line. We'll have to give up on the third one. That means we're letting him have 2 points, but it's the best option we have. Trying to chase him right now would just lower our chance of winning to 0. Asuka looks shocked as she makes her way over to the fourth line. Yeah, we actually know all these moves that, Shindo-san just did. Asuka, as the player, especially as a new player, would be like, what the fuck just happened? Throughout the whole 5 minutes, probably. You were pushed down toward the water. He used a maneuver that's called the Cobra. It's a move where you brake hard for a second to make your opponent pass you, then rapidly accelerate. Man, is Asuka actually gonna do the move just like an anime protagonist? It's a lot like air kick turn. Main difference is an air kick turn makes you move in the opposite direction, while the Cobra allows you to continue down the same path. Next time he does that, go for an air kick turn. That should counter him, since he'll be left behind when he uses the Cobra.
わかりました。
Asuka hasn't mastered the air kick turn yet, but this is our only shot. There's nothing else she can do to get past Shindo-san's Cobra. Nothing else changes, okay? Just try to stick by Shindo-san for as long as possible.
はい。
Asuka ignores the third line entirely and jumps to the fourth. And while she is circling near the center of the line, Shindo-san touches third, then proceeds straight to fourth and touches it as well. It's 0-4. He glances at Asuka, then starts to fly straight toward the next boy. This is just like on the second line. Asuka comes drop down from above with impeccable timing, then starts flying next to him.
次はさっきよりも長く一緒に飛びますから。
僕は早いけどついてこれるかな。
頑張ります。
Asuka follows Shindo-san as he begins to speed up. He throws in a short scissors and also a high yo-yo, but neither of those manage to throw her off. No, wait. Is he even trying to lose her? Seems more like he's getting her to focus on flying to me. I mean, he could have used a bunch of tricky maneuvers if shaking her was his only goal. What is he after? I tried to give Asuka some instructions, but stopped myself at the last moment. Wouldn't want to ruin her concentration. Shindo-san disappears from Asuka's view right when it looks like he's about to accelerate. This is it. This is the moment of truth. Asuka ends up ahead of Shindo-san, which gives her a chance to pull off our plan. Now! Asuka tucks her arms and legs in, curling up her body, then kicks her legs outward, straining up her whole body with an air kick turn. In an instant, she shoots back toward Shindo-san. Is it just me? Or did Shindo-san smile faintly? There are some players who do smile during matches. I actually lick my lips when I go before a sprint. It happens because some people's facial muscles loosen when they're in a state of high concentration. Wait, he's focusing? Does that mean he isn't surprised? He predicted that would happen. Duh! Didn't we do an air kick turn before on the practice match with him? Shindo-san proceeds to curl up his body. Well, I actually forgot if we did it or not, but I think we did. So of course we knew that we'd probably make this into like, you know, a special move to counterattack something. And then, he maintains the posture needed for the Cobra while pulling off another move. So he jumped up. He used this is not a Cobra. An air kick turn? Impossible! No way! He directly chained a Cobra into an upward air kick turn without losing his balance at all? How? I'm getting goosebumps here. This is way harder than combining the Cobra with a suicida. God, it's so hard to say that. Chaining two high-speed maneuvers that move you in different directions is just... There's no doubt in my mind that he's far better than anyone else at this tournament. Asuka's now is in the... God damn it, Asuka's now in the perfect position for Shindo-san, which means her back's wide open. Huh? Go? Go where? Before that question escapes my lips, Asuka does a second air kick turn. She uses it to fly straight into Shindo-san, who has been diving down to touch her back. What, is this gonna be like her skill? Like, multiple air kick turns at once? This again? What now? Asuka uses the repellent force from their clash to perform another air kick turn. Then, she stretches out her hand. I can't believe it! She actually got him! The score is now 1-4. So she's just gonna keep juggling him with an air kick turn after she got, you know, she got forced with the repellent force after the touch, right? This is a pretty devastating strategy. If you can keep doing it, of course. Like, I don't know how hard it is to actually do this maneuver. Asuka uses the recoil again in the exact same way. Technically, you could actually put people in a stun lock if you keep doing this. And she successfully touches Shindo-san's back for a second time. How is she doing this? What's happening here? She just scored on Shindo-san twice? I've never seen anyone chain air kick turns like that. Oh, seems like she's going for another one. Unfortunately, her hand doesn't even reach Shindo-san this time. An air kick turn allows you to perform a high-speed quick turn because of the instantaneous membrane shift that's brought about by curling your body. In other words, it's based on changing the direction of initial force. So, just like how a pendulum eventually comes to a stop due to friction and air resistance, some force is lost with each directional change, which lowers the speed. And unfortunately, the third air kick turn slowed her down too much. Still, she did manage to score 2 points on Shindo-san. What now? Should we take advantage of his confusion and engage in a dogfight? Or wait, would it be better for her to go for the next boy instead? What's the correct decision here? Both options feel right and wrong, which makes it hard to decide. Oh, Asuka! Go at him! Doesn't matter where! Just touch him! Damn, full confidence in my, instructions as a second. We won't get another chance like this. Shindo-san's probably startled by this turn of events. In situations like this, people tend to go on the defense. A perfect example is how people react when a boulder comes rolling down toward them. Running or jumping out of the way seems like the logical choice, but some people stand their ground. They do? What? They do? The fuck? Is that actually true? Or is this some bullshit that the game throws at you? I personally would have jumped, sideways. No fucking way will I be standing my ground. That's just retarded. You're gonna die. Why is that? Are they too scared to move? That's a possible explanation, but not the most common one. The truth is a lot stranger than you'd expect. When faced with a choice between evading or blocking an incoming object, your instincts tell you to raise your guard. If it's not big, sure, but if a boulder is humongous, you just jump out of the way. What the hell? And with that in mind, Shindo-san should be focusing more on defense right now. Asuka manages to touch Shindo-san's leg. Shindo-san braced himself for her attack in a weird way, so he's left spinning away with his waist as his axis. Nice! It should take him a while to recover from that. Now's your chance! Asuka moves behind Shindo-san, who has now stopped spinning and scores another point. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, just like Messiah said, I'm actually getting pretty good goosebumps right now. This is a pretty epic fight. That's 3-4. Is she feeling bitter because she thinks that Shindo is probably, gonna be beaten by her? I mean, it's not like I don't understand Misaki's reaction, but damn. That's kind of a nasty way to react to the situation instead of just cheering for Asuka right now. She's actually doing some crazy stuff right now that only, I guess, quote-unquote, geniuses can do. Or I guess, like the protagonist of a shonen anime. Like I said.
分かっているのでしたらそれらしいことをしてください。ここで負けるのはみんなを裏切るということです
佐藤君は厳しいな。
強い人が余裕を見せながら戦うのが好きではありません。しっかりと泥臭くやってください。そうやって何をしてでも勝つのが私の知っている部長ですが。
そうか。
あと佐藤院です
分かったよ佐藤院君。君の言う通りだ。
Shindo-san, who has almost hit the water in an attempt to evade Asuka's attacks, suddenly roars. His loud voice makes Asuka flinch. His second roar makes Asuka freeze up for a moment. People tend to get intimidated when they hear loud yelling. True. Don't stop now, Asuka! Keep moving! I never imagined Shindo-san was the type to roar loudly and openly display his passion and desire to win. Goes to show that he's probably cornered right now. I just assumed he was far more quiet and meek. Shindo-san touches Asuka's shoulder as she's rooted in place, sending her flying off into the distance. She's currently spinning sideways due to his attack. He recovers quicker than Asuka, then touches her back. Crap! This is bad! Asuka's never fought in a match that's anything like this. Makes sense since no one's ever this intense in a practice match. Well, Prez always is, but that comes off as more of a joke than anything. Anyway, other than that, her only matches were in the first 2 rounds where she faced some below-average opponents. I bet this is the first time she's seen anything like this. His raw anger, passion, and desire to win are hard to bear. She's overwhelmed by this technique that wasn't even specifically designed for FC. Though, that's not to say it came from any other sport. You see, it's something far more primal that humans have used since the Stone Age. Shindo-san's intense emotions lock both of them into their roles. Interesting. Namely, the hunter and the hunted, Shindo-san and Asuka. Calm down! You're still fighting the same person! Nothing's changed! Asuka's voice is quivering a little as she replies. He makes up for the 3 points Asuka scored in next to no time. The score is now 3-6. Gah! I knew it! The gap between them is too wide. If only Asuka had more experience. No, I can't place the blame on her. This is my fault. I'm the one who sent her out there without preparing her for this scenario. I could have made her practice for this. It's not too late. I still have a chance to fix this. There must be some advice I can give her. Asuka, remember what you did when we practiced in the gym on that rainy day? Flip back and get behind him. You can do it. Shindo-san's just mindlessly rushing at you, so now's your chance! Constantly roaring does tend to intimidate your opponent. However, it also makes you start seeing red. In other words, his strategy has turned him into a frenzied berserker. And that's why Asuka still has a chance. You need to keep a cool head and outthink him. He's just acting on instinct now, so I'm sure you can do it. That is actually the best thing that you... Or I guess it's the best thing to feel when you're in a race. I personally like that sort of feeling when you're just like going all out. Just like what Shindo-san is doing. Whether or not you lose after this, it's like second... You know, second... It's the second goal. Like you just want to give it all your best. Shindo-san is charging straight toward Asuka's back once more. Go, Asuka! Unfortunately, things don't go according to plan. When Asuka tries to spin backward and perform something akin to a backflip, Shindo-san breaks like when he was using the Cobra and raises his right hand. Damn, even though he's a berserker, he's still very functional. Then he spikes Asuka like a volleyball.
そんな風にかわしに来るとは思わなかったけど、予備動作が大きすぎるんじゃないかな。
It can't be. He was actually thinking straight despite all the roaring. Incredible. Is he some kind of kendo or judo athlete as well? Shindo-san keeps scoring point after point. Gah! Time keeps flowing as I find myself unable to provide any advice. What can we do? What can we do? That question keeps endlessly repeating inside my head, leaving me at a loss for words. All I really can do right now is gaze up at the field with clenched fists. Even though I hate the situation, I'm forced to accept defeat as I watch Asuka get destroyed by Shindo-san. Eventually, the whistle blows. 3-10. That's the final score. Damn, I guess this is why they skipped all of Asuka's battles so far. That was an epic one. I can hear Asuka panting heavily through the headset. Shindo-san, no. The strongest Skywalker of our generation, Kazunari Shindo, is looking down on us with a sneer on his face, seemingly mocking the exhausted Asuka. Is that all you can do? That's what he seems to be saying. Before I know it, I tense my shoulders to a point where they hurt. I don't know whether it's because Shindo-san is too tense, or because Asuka is so frightened, but they both leave after a brief exchange of words. Asuka's form looks real shaky as she flies back to us. She must be pretty tired.
全力を出せませんでした。
That's not true. Listen, I doubt many other players here could have driven Shindo-san into a corner like that. I swear, I'm not just trying to console her. She really surprised me out there. I think she surprised everyone, Messiah. I'm amazed that she managed to make Shindo-san fight dirty. That's fighting dirty? What? I don't understand this guy's logic. I don't think he's bending any of the rules. Unlike you, when you try to make Asuka actually score 1 point. The fuck?
試合がこんなに怖いってこと知りませんでした。
Right.
だけど怖いけど面白かったです。
Wow. That's all she has to say after that loss? Man, this girl's one tough cookie. I was expecting her to feel kinda depressed. You're strong, Asuka.
そんなことありません。全然弱いです。もっと強くなりたいです。
Man, she is such a typical shonen protagonist. If you say so, let me know if you ever need any help. I actually do believe that this would be a lot more interesting if Messiah is a coach and Asuka is actually a guy. I would actually think that would be a lot more interesting, personally.
はい、よろしくお願いします、コーチ。
Because I'm kind of afraid that the romance might actually ruin the overall impact of the sportsmanship in this story. But I guess we'll see.
負けてしまいました。アスカちゃん。
Madoka rushes over to her as she calls out her name. And when she reaches her, starts stroking Asuka's head.
よしよし、大丈夫？怖くなかった？
大丈夫です。怖かったですけど、もう大丈夫です。はい。女の子にあんなことするとは、新藤さんはひどい人です。もうプンプンですよ。
I personally would have done the same. I would like in sports, you don't really care whether your opponent is a girl or a guy. That just shows how desperate he was to win. What? That actually matters? Come on! Guys, this is sports. You want to win.
必死と言っても結局は7点も差を をつけられちゃったけどね。
はい、後半は何をされているのかよくわからない状態でした。
Man, they really wanna try to antagonize Shindo. I actually like what he did.
次の大会の目標は打倒進藤さんですね。
進藤さんは3年生だってば。この大会で最後だから打倒する機会はないって。
そうでした。
I'm glad both of you got to face him. Made for a valuable experience, right?
はい、進藤さんと試合ができてよかったです。
Now Misaki is probably gonna be, you know, pity partying herself. I could understand why Misaki is irritated though, because, you know, I think I said this on the last couple of episodes. When my brother also does not do his best when we're doing, or when we're playing like a soccer game on like a console, I would be mad too. Like, come on, take me seriously. Just go give me the 0-10. Don't give me like some pity points. Misaki turns away with a sour look on her face. Something wrong?
いい経験だったかもしれないけど、進藤さんと試合をするために FC をしてるわけじゃないし。
Well, that may be true, but
美咲先輩はもっと上を見てるんですよね。そこから見れば進藤さんとの試合も踏み台に過ぎないと。
それだから、つまりそういうこと。
そういうことなんです。
right. I'll just let the conversation end on that note, since it seems like Misaki doesn't want to talk about it. Well, we may be done with the summer tournament now, but you're not allowed to head home. Go watch the remaining matches instead. You can learn a lot from watching other people play.
はーい。しっかり見ておきます。
I wonder if I'm gonna have to commentate on Shindo versus Inui. I'm actually pretty interested in that. Make sure to think of how you'd react to everything happening in the matches.
どう騙すかということですね。
Sure, why not? Take my words however you want. Anyway, I'm gonna go report our results to Shirase-san and Miss Kagami.
私らはここで見てるからごゆっくり。
Guess we won't be able to commentate.
どうも、こんにちは。
What about Ganeko? We actually did not see her matches at all? A blonde girl who seems quite familiar trots over to me. Oh,
忘れないでください。イリーナです。
she thrusts her face up to mine and gives me a wink as she says that. I do remember you, I swear. You're Inui's second Irina-san.
そうです。イリーナさんです。
She's the second of the player who knocked Prez out in the first round. Wow, Inui's won all her matches so far.
はい。次も勝って次も勝ったら一番です。
Inui has a similar playstyle to Prez, so the fact that she's gotten this far is a good sign for him.
そちらの1回戦の
His name is Aoyagi.
はい、青柳さん。青柳さん、強い人でした。
Happy to hear that.
それと試合見てました。すごい面白い試合。興奮しました。興味あります。倉科さん。
Oh, you're talking about how she just fought Shindo-san.
はい。見ていて楽しかったです。愉快？愉快で日本語正しいですか？
She's gotta be faking this, right? Amusing, huh? Well, it's not really wrong, but I wouldn't exactly call it a good choice of words. Amusing isn't really a word you'd use to praise a match.
飛んだり跳ねたり、あっち行ってそっち行ってという試合で、サーカス。日本語でサーカスは何と言いますか？
Circus in Japanese as well, I think.
あの試合はサーカスですね。
いろんな技が出て上下左右に激しく移動していて見ていて楽しいけど FC ではありませんね。
What do you mean? Huh? It wasn't FC? What do you mean?
え
She seems surprised by my question. I'm just curious what you mean by it not being a real FC. Nothing seemed too out of the ordinary out there. Well, other than the crazy moves each of them pulled off anyway.
私の日本語おかしかったですか？
No, that's not it. I just want to know why you don't consider Shindo-san and Kuroshina's match real FC. This time, Irina-san flashes a friendly smile.
勝つことが目的ならあんなに派手に動き回る必要ないです。
Well, I guess that's true. They were moving around like that because they were trying to win.
そうですか？
Yeah.
勝つためにエアキックターンやコブラやスイシーダが必要だった？
Wow,
そ
so
う言いたいんですか？
I guess Irina's playstyle is basically my playstyle. You don't need all the technique if you can just go fast. Basically, is what she's trying to say, isn't it? Well, are you trying to say they were pointless?
必要ですか？
She has a puzzled look on her face as she says that. I'm sure they used them because they were necessary. Both of them pulled out all the stops to win that match, which is rather admirable. Sure, they may have looked really flashy, but it's not like they were trying to put on a show or anything. She may not get that, but I know it to be true.
愉快です。
I see.
でもあれは私の知ってる FC とは違いますね。
And what's your brand of FC like?
きっと決勝戦は進藤選手と乾になります。それを見てもらえば私の言いたいことわかると思います。
Yeah, probably Shindo-san wouldn't be able to use any of the moves if Inui is way faster than him.
本当の FC わかります。
True FC. Irina-san gives me a firm nod as I say that.
はい、本当の FC です。
Maybe I'm just being weird, but Irina-san's friendly smile seems really scary right now. She draws even closer to me and whispers,
知ってますよ。日向雅也さん、ジュニアの時。
Huh? How do you know that?
乾と同じ年頃の選手はできるだけ調べてるんです。
But I haven't played FC in years.
ですから調べてるんです。
Why? Irina-san doesn't seem the least bit fazed by my question.
日向さんの育てた選手でも日向さんでもいいです。いつか乾を潰しに来てください。
Yeah, see, she's faking her fucking Japanese, man. She's speaking perfect Japanese right now.
あの子は魔女ですからそうしてくれるとすごく喜びます。
What? Okay, that threw me off. I wasn't expecting her to suddenly say something like that. She's a masochist. What does that matter?
誰かに潰されるのを心待ちにしてるんです。乾は真面目な性格ですから。
Well, I could understand if you're like the rank 1 of any sort of sport you're at, or in anything really. You probably want someone to dethrone you. Good competition is always good after all. The corners of her lips curve into a smile as she backs away from me. What exactly do you want? Instead of answering, Irina-san directs a slightly awkward bow at me before turning around and walking away. Inui must definitely be part of the fan disc. I could see Messiah actually joining back into FC if we try to actually get into her route. Of course, I'm mostly speculating. I haven't really taken a look at any of the like synopsis for the extra like routes for the game. But I definitely want to buy them now. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to finish this first. What is she thinking? She talked a whole lot, so I'm not even sure where to begin. Though, the thing that weighs most heavily on my mind is... True FC? Is she saying that outspeeding your opponent is true FC? That is one way to win, but it's not the only one. She said I'd understand after watching Inui face Shindo-san. Well, she better make it to the grand finals now, or they'll both have egg on their face.
ごきげんよう、日向雅也。
Oh, Satoin-san. I'm sorry you lost your match. Inui went 15-0 against her. Jesus! It was just like what happened with Prez's match. If a speeder manages to gain a slight lead, things will snowball so out of control from there that it's almost impossible for their opponent to win.
乾咲が私より強かっただけのことです。
I'm on my way to tell our club advisor that all our players have been knocked out. What are you up to?
私は散歩中ですわ。
A stroll? Is now really the time? I mean, you're Shindo-san's second, right?
部長は少しピリピリしていますの。今は一人になってクールダウンする時間が必要だと判断して席を外しました。
I see. Guess I didn't need to remind her of her job.
今話していたのは乾咲のセコンドですか？
Yeah. Don't assume we're close or anything, though. I only know her because our president faced her in the first round.
そういうことでしたの。乾咲は不思議ですね。
Strange? In what way exactly?
そうですわね。硬い感じがしました。
Steel? She said, she's, katai I think is hard.
下手にぶつかったら弾き返されてしまいそうな。
So she's kind of like an intimidating predator that scares you away before you can attack.
威圧感は確かにありましたけど、私が言いたいのはそういうことではありませんわ。スタイルが完成されていると言えばいいのかしら。
You call that perfected? Seriously? I mean, yeah, she's really good. But perfect? That's a bit much.
彼女自身というよりも、その後ろに私たちの知らないスタイルがあるような気がしますの。
So like, her strategy as a speeder and all the fine-tuned, technical aspects to her maneuvers.
それも含めての話ですわ。大小を含んだ体系的なテクニックがあるのかもしれません。
I can tell Satoin-san thinks Inui is something special. But why? She mentioned how her supposedly unique style is comprised of a generalized game plan, plus individual techniques. But isn't that every style? How is she any different from the rest of us? What happened during your match that made you think Inui is special?
動かされていると思いましたわ。
Oh, I was waiting for her to say stuff, but it's gonna be said on the next sentence. Oh, what? That's it? Steering you? I thought she was actually gonna say something more.
気づけば乾咲の有利な方向に動かされているのです。自分で判断しているつもりなのですけど、セコンドの方がとても優秀なのかもしれませんわね。
She was forced to play right into Inui's hands without even knowing it. Does that mean her style revolves around manipulating her opponent? So, what styles do you think would match up well against her?
そうですわね。部長のように引き出しの多い人なら乾咲の裏を行くことができると思いますわ。それと
Yeah? Satoin-san looks up at the playfield.
ちょうどいいタイミングでしたわね。これから試合をする選手みたいなタイプも苦手かもしれません。
Is this actually Ganeko? Which one of them do you mean? There's a player from Shito Suisan and one from Dogara. Come on, man! This is the first time we actually saw the name Nogara, so of course it's gonna be from Shito Suisan.
動画裏の選手ですわ。
Nani? Damn it! The game's throwing me for a loop! What the?
名前は黒渕かすみ。その様子だと、あの選手の試合、見ていなかったようですわね。
I'm pulling double duty as second and coach, so I missed some matches. Wow, she's got really long arms and legs. Players with a long reach have a clear advantage in most sports. Sure, sometimes a longer reach can work against you, but 9 times out of 10, it'll work in your favor. True? For example, in dogfights, you can reach your opponent from further away. Anyway, you're trying to say Inui isn't good at dealing with players who have a long reach?
そういうことではありません。試合を見ていればわかると思いますわ。
I see the referee flying over to Kurobuchi and whispering in her ear. I obviously can't tell what they're saying, but both of them seem tense. What's that all about?
反則の常習犯なので、最初から警告を受けているのだと思います。
Oh wow, she has a very aggressive style of playing. A player who fouls her opponent often. Does she get real rough in matches?
そうですわね。何かにイラついているようなプレイスタイルですわ。
セット
The opening whistle resounds. Kurobuchi tilts forward while spreading her arms out horizontally. Seems she's trying to use up more space on the line to mess with her opponent. That isn't really against the rules, but... Problem is, the floats on her flight suit are spread out in ways that block her opponent's path. The electric sound of repulsion echoes about as the Shito player is thrown backward.
反則黒渕かすみ選手の反則負け
The audience is going nuts. I can even hear some people laughing. Though, it's obviously not because they find it funny. In fact, they seem more surprised than anything.
Huh?
Kasumi Kurobuchi furrows her brow, flies toward the ref, and unleashes a string of insults. Immediately touching your opponent after the match begins is against the rules, but the usual punishment is to subtract the point. This is the first time I've seen someone get disqualified for it. Isn't that a bit much? Satoin-san turns to me with an impish smile on her face as she hears me say that.
初回の反則ならそうですわね。
Wait, you mean...
彼女、1回戦からずっと同じ反則をしてますの。
She's doing it on purpose.
そうとしか考えられませんわね。スーツの浮き袋が不自然に動いたのも気になりますし。
So she's utilizing everything in her arsenal, huh? How's she doing that?
わかりませんけど、練習をすればできるのではありませんか？
Why would you ever do that?
乾咲はああいったプレイに弱いのではないかと思います。
In other words, she probably can't handle a playstyle that focuses on drawing fouls.
そういう選手が得意というスカイウォーカーはあまりいないでしょうけれど。
Right. I mean, I doubt anyone practices what to do when they're fouled.
そういう意味もありますけど、彼女は枠を超えてこようとするスタイルに弱いかもしれませんわ。何せ自分の思うように動かせないでしょうから。
Fair? Unconventional playstyles, huh? Not many of those around.
だからといって反則は進めません。
Agreed. Focusing on fouls is out of the question.
そちらの方々でしたら、飛沢美咲や倉科明日香よりも有坂真白の方が乾咲と相性がいいかもしれませんわね。
Really? Wow. She seems to have a really high opinion of Mashiro.
では、私はそろそろ戻ります。
Maybe if she increased her skill more, true. But I doubt that she has the skills to even be on par with, you know, anyone. Oh, sorry for taking up so much of your time.
そんなことありませんわ。乾咲について部長に何を伝えたらいいのか整理できましたから。
Okay, so I thought I was actually going to finish this chapter, this episode, but this chapter has actually been going on for quite a bit. I think if we actually go see Aoi-san next, I'm gonna, end the episode. Damn, I'm actually really excited for my next play of this. Do your best to support him.
言われるまでもなく。それではごきげんよう。
Satoin-san gives me a graceful bow before leaving.